कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय जय यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय जय यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री चैतन्य श्री अद्वैत गदाधर गो हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय गौरनिताय 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 श्री श्री गौरनिताय जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राचार्य स्तोत्र सिस्टम डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत संश्लेष प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायस्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। So welcome everyone to today's Bhagavatam class. Very grateful for this opportunity. So today we'll be reading 10 verses. That is 50th chapter, text number 30 to 40. And we'll be reading the last verse, 40th verse. Okay. So let me just read the Sanskrit and English of, 30th verse. Okay. Let's chant the 30th verse.
No, we can recite 40th.
40 Okay, we'll recite 40th. Okay. Jagraha viratham ramo jarasandha mahabalam hatanika vasishtasum simham ivaujasa. Jarāsandha with his chariot lost and all his soldiers dead, was left with only his breath. At that point, Lord Balaram forcibly seized the powerful warrior, just as one lion takes hold of another. 31. Badhyamanam hataratim pashir varunamanushai varayamas govindas tena karya chikirshaya. With the divine noose of Varuna and other mortal ropes, Balaram began tying up Jarāsandha, who had killed so many foes. But Lord Govinda still had a purpose to fulfill through Jarāsandha, and thus he asked Balaram to stop. The word hataratim means one who has killed his enemies, or through whom his enemies would be killed. Śrīla Viśvanātha Thakur has provided this thoughtful note. 32-33. Samukta loka nathabhyam vridito vīra sammatah tapase krita sankalpo varita pathirajabhi vakye pavitrartha pade नयने प्राकृतेरपि स्वकर्मबन्ध प्राप्तोऽयं यदुभिस्ते पराभवः. Translation: Jarāsandha, whom fighters had highly honored, was ashamed after being released by the two lords of the universe, and thus he decided to undergo penances. On the road, however, several kings convinced him with both spiritual wisdom and mundane arguments that he should give up his idea of self-abnegation. They told him, "Your defeat by the Yadus was simply the unavoidable reaction of your past karma. Hateshu sarvanikeshu nipo bārhadratastada upekshito bhagavata magadhan durmanayayu." All of his armies having been killed and himself neglected by the personality of Godhead, King Jarāsandha, son of Brihadratha, then sadly returned to the kingdom of the Magadhas. Mukundopi akshata balo nistri nari balan banarnavaha vikiryamana kusumes tridasher anumoditaha Mathurer upasangamya vijvarer muditatmabhihi upagiyamana vijayah suta magatavandibihi. Lord Mukunda had crossed the ocean of his enemies' armies with his own military force completely intact. He received congratulations from the denizens of heaven, who showered him with flowers. The people of Mathurā, relieved of their feverish anxiety and filled with joy, came out to meet him as professional bards, heralds, and panegyrists sang in praise of his victory. Shankha dundu bhayo nedur bheri turyani anekashah veena venu mridangani puram pravishati prabhu sikta margam vrishta janam patakabhir abhyalankritam nirghushtham brahma ghoshena kautuka badatoranam. As the Lord entered his city, conch shells and kettle drums sounded, and many drums, horns, veenas, flutes, and mridangas played in concert. The boulevards were sprinkled with water. There were banners everywhere, and the gateways were decorated for the celebration. The citizens were elated, and the city resounded the chanting of Vedic hymns. Nichayamano nari bhir malya dhadi akshatankurei nirikshamana sasneham priti utkalita lochanahi. As the women of the city affectionately looked at the Lord, their eyes wide open with love, they scattered flower garlands, yogurt, and parched rice, and newly grown sprouts upon him. All this is taking place as Lord Kṛṣṇa enters the city of Mathurā. 40. This we can repeat. āyodhana-gataṁ vittam anantam vīra-bhūṣaṇam yadu-rājāya sarvam āhṛtaṁ prādiśat prabhuḥ. āyodhana-gataṁ vittam anantam vīra-bhūṣaṇam yadu-rājāya sarvam āhṛtaṁ prādiśat prabhuḥ. āyodhana-gataṁ vittam anantam vīra-bhūṣaṇam yadu-rājāya sarvam āhṛtaṁ prādiśat prabhuḥ. vīra-bhūṣaṇam tat sarvam āyodhana-gataṁ vīra-bhūṣaṇam yadu-rājāya tat sarvam āhṛtaṁ prādiśat prabhuḥ āyodhana-gataṁ vittam vittam vīra-bhūṣaṇam. Okay. Āyodhana-gataṁ, fallen on the battlefield. Vittam, the valuables. Anantam, countless. Vīra, of the heroes. Bhūṣaṇam, the ornaments. Yadu-rājāya, to the king of the Yadus. Ugrasena. Tat, that. Sarvam, all. āhṛtaṁ, which was brought. Prādiśat, presented. Prabhuḥ, the Lord. Translation. Lord Kṛṣṇa then presented to the Yadu kings all the wealth that had fallen on the battlefield, namely the countless ornaments of the dead warriors. Purport. Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī adds that jeweled ornaments had also been collected from the horses and other animals. What might be added here for the sake of squeamish is that Jarāsandha came to Mathurā with a clear intention of slaughtering every last man in the city, including Kṛṣṇa and Balarāma. It is out of causeless mercy of the Lord that He gives the conditioned souls a taste of their own medicine and thus helps them become more sensitive to the laws of nature and the existence of the Supreme Godhead. Ultimately, Kṛṣṇa awarded Jarāsandha and others killed on the battlefield spiritual liberation. The Lord is strict, but He is not malicious. In fact, He is an ocean of mercy. Om ajnana-timirandhasya jnananjana-shalakaya chakshurmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So we are reading this chapter. Krishna establishes Dwarka. So we are very fortunate in the Vrindavan Dham. We are hearing 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this has 3 parts. So chapter 1 to 40 deals with Vrindavan pastimes. And then second part dealing with Mathurā pastimes, which is till this chapter. And from here, the Dwarka pastimes of the Lord will begin, right? We all know that Krishna performed his pastimes for little more than 11 years in Vrindavan and then in Mathurā. So it is said by some acharyas that how many times Jarāsandha came to attack? 17 times. 18 time Krishna left. So they said approximately if you calculate 1 year for every attack, so Krishna had stayed for 18 years in Mathurā. That's what they say. That means 11 plus 18, almost 30 years. And then Krishna went to Dwarka. And that was the right age for marriage. And then later we'll see the pastimes of Krishna marrying Rukmani, and the other principal queens, and the 16,100 queens. So the Dwarka pastimes will unfold from here. And today we read these verses where we are seeing that how Krishna defeated Jarāsandha, and Balaram wanted to arrest him and kill him, but then Krishna told to release. Why? Because he was helping Krishna to fulfill his mission. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya duskritam. He wanted to relieve the burden of the earth, and it was very easy for him. He didn't have to go to Bihar himself, because Jarāsandha was staying in Bihar. So he was very smart. He was one place Mathurā, and he was getting all the people from Bihar around the places to Mathurā. And Krishna was killing. And we know later Krishna also organized Mahabharat battle. Again, Krishna didn't go anywhere. Warriors came from all over the world, from Afghanistan, from Turkey, from all the places to Kurukshetra. And Krishna just finished them. But interestingly, if you see today's purport, what we wrote, so the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they write a very beautiful purport that Krishna is not malicious. That means he doesn't feel happy in killing demons, or he doesn't hate anyone. He said Lord is strict, but he's not malicious. In fact, he's an ocean of mercy. So this is something that we must understand. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Deenabandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radhakanta Namaste. He's Karuna Sindhu, ocean of mercy. So whatever Krishna does is for the benefit of the jivas. So it is said that everybody, so Jarāsandha and all others killed on the battlefield, they achieved liberation. And also those who were killed in Mahabharat, what happened to them? How many soldiers were killed? 640 million. My God, 64 crores. That's almost like 40% of India's population today. They were killed on the battlefield of Mahabharat. But if you see Bhishma Dev's prayer in the first canto of Bhagavatam, he says that all the soldiers, they achieved liberation and also sarupya liberation. That is something very surprising. That means it's not that they merged into the Brahma Jyoti, but they actually attained sarupya mukti. So that is Krishna's kindness, that imagine at one shot he liberated. Imagine if somebody preaches, it takes so much effort to make one devotee, cultivate him, and we don't know whether he'll go back to Godhead or not. But then here you see Krishna at one strike in the battlefield of Mahabharata liberated 64 crore people. Similarly here, Akshayani is a big number. Technical details, we can look at it. So many thousands of chariots and elephants, horses. And 23 Akshayanis, that means lakhs of soldiers came every time. And because they were killed on the battlefield in the presence of Krishna, So antakalesha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. So Krishna was personally present there. So therefore anyone who died in the battlefield in front of Krishna, they all attained liberation. Now again, liberation could be of various kinds. Let's not go into that detail. But at least they attained liberation. So see Krishna's kindness. They had no qualification. They were all demons siding with Jarāsandha. But Krishna is so merciful. This is called causeless mercy. So actually the only purpose of Krishna's appearance, Krishna's coming here, is just to give his mercy. Therefore, in yesterday's verse, a very beautiful verse, that for him who orchestrates the creation, maintenance and destruction of the three worlds, and who possesses unlimited spiritual qualities, it is hardly amazing that he subdues an opposing party. Still, the Lord does so, imitating human behavior, sages glorify his acts. Sthiti udbhavantam bhuvanatrayasya samihitenanta gunasvalilaya natasya chitram parapaksha nigrahas tathapi martyanu vidhasya vanyate. So it's not something great for the Lord, to kill some demons, to kill the soldiers of the... What is great for him? He is creating unlimited universes from the pores of his body. So what is big thing for him to kill Kamsa or to kill Ravana or to kill these demons? Nothing. But still the Lord does these wonderful pastimes just out of his causeless mercy. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamashrita bhajate tadrishi krida ya shutva tat paro bhavit. In 10th canto it is said that Krishna performs his beautiful pastimes only for one reason. Out of his anugraha, out of his mercy to the conditioned souls, so that we can hear the pastimes and we can develop love for Krishna. That's the primary reason why Krishna does his pastimes. This verse of Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma cha me divyam evang yoviti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti swarjuna. I think this is one of the most quoted verses by Srila Prabhupada, right? Among all the verses, Prabhupada quoted this so many times that one who understands the pastimes of Krishna, he is sure to be liberated. So therefore Krishna performs his wonderful pastimes out of his mercy on all of us. So when he comes here, he liberates the demons then and there by his darshan, and then all these beautiful pastimes are left for all of us so that we can hear those pastimes. And then he gives pleasure to his devotees. So these are the main reasons for Krishna's appearance. Otherwise, killing demons, we all know it's not a big deal for Krishna. He can do it in so many ways, right? So here also we read these beautiful pastimes that how Krishna killed all the soldiers, and when Balramji was about to capture and kill Jarāsandha, Krishna said, just leave him. He give that we have a greater plan. Don't worry, many more soldiers will come. So just leave him. And then after that, Krishna, he entered Mathurā city. And all the Mathurā Vasis, they were in great anxiety. Right? So that is also natural for devotee, because they love Krishna so much that they are worried about Krishna's safety. Just like in Vrindavan, Mother Yashoda was always worried what will happen to Krishna. Right? Similarly, in Mathurā also the devotees were very much worried, because although they knew in Mathurā there is some conception of opulence is there, but still because of love for Krishna, they had some worry within their hearts. What may happen in the battlefield? But when Krishna came back victoriously, so they all were very happy, very jubilant. They decorated the city with various decorations, and so all this description we just read, that how they decorated the city of Mathurā. They played various instruments like kettle drums, conch shells, shankha, dundubhi, and veena, venu, and they sprinkled everywhere with water. There were beautiful banners, patakas, and there were gateways, a nice gate. And so this is the way of Vedic decoration, with banyan trees. And then they were, when the Lord came, so they scattered flower garlands, yogurt, and parched rice, and newly grown sprouts upon him. So these are auspicious things by which we we celebrate any festivals, right? So we can see akshata means parched rice, and ankure, ankure sprouts. These days people eat sprouts for good health. So sprouts, it seems, were also used to welcome people, It's a auspicious thing. Sprouts and akshata, grains. Now also you see sometimes we have this mixture of raw rice and haldi. We chant auspicious mantras to welcome some guest. So these are all the Vedic tradition. And then, very interestingly, Kṛṣna took all the wealth, because in the battlefield there were lakhs of soldiers who were killed. Now, all of them used to wear a lot of ornaments. Even the animals. Like many times you have heard, right? When people used to give cows in charity or elephants, they used to decorate it with gold ornaments. Now, though, even human beings don't have gold ornaments. We all wear plastic and imitations. But you see the opulence that all the animals, they were wearing gold ornaments those days. So imagine so many horses, elephants and soldiers, they were killed. So much gold was there and ornaments. So they all collected everything. And Kṛṣna presented it to the king. Who is the king? We all know that Kṛṣna is the king. No. Actually in Mathurā, Kṛṣna made Ugrasena as the king. In Dwarka also. You see, this is again Krishna's greatness. That although he is so great, he is actually the king of all the kings, but he doesn't want to be king himself. He wants to honor others as king. So in the third canto of Bhagavatam, we'll see in the beginning, when Uddhava remembers Krishna's pastimes, so there also Uddhava remembers the same thing. That I feel so much, pain to see that how Krishna used to stand before Ugrasena and tell him, "Oh dear king, please let me know what is your order for me." That Supreme Lord, by his mere desire, the entire world is being sustained, created, destroyed. Now he is standing before Ugrasena and treating him as king and considering himself to be servant. Just see that how Krishna is more pleased when he thinks himself as a servant. You see, although he is the Lord, and opposite this case with us, that we are servants by nature, but we want to be lords. We want to be the Lord of everything. And he is the Lord of everything, but he is happy to be a servant. And that is why Krishna himself came in the mood of Radharani as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to relish the mood of a servant. Because the happiness that a servant gets is much more than the master who is being served. This is the secret of bhakti. This is a great mystery of devotional service, because of which Krishna himself came in the form of a devotee. Because that sevananda, that pleasure out of serving Krishna is much more than the pleasure that Krishna derives when others serve him. Right? So this is something very interesting, that Krishna presented all the articles to King Ugrasena. Another very interesting thing we can just discuss today, that why Krishna didn't kill Jarāsandha. Of course, one reason was, we heard that he wanted the soldiers to come again and again. So 17 times he killed them. But 18th time, he didn't defeat him also. But he just left Dwarka. So why he left Dwarka? He left Mathurā. So one reason was he wanted to establish Dwarka city, because that was the next phase of his pastimes. Secondly, you see, Krishna does so many things in so many solves. He serves so many purposes in one pastime. So, in later verses we'll read that Kalayavan comes from one side, and then Krishna knew that Jarāsandha is coming very soon. So he discussed with Balramji and said, let's go from here and let's shift all the Brajvasis to Mathuravasis to Dwarka. But Krishna could have easily killed both of them. It was not a big deal. But then Krishna wanted to perform some special pastimes. So he took Kalyavan. He made Kalyavan run, right? Krishna started running and Kalyavan started following. And where did Krishna reach? Cave of Muchukunda. So there he wanted to glorify Muchukunda, again his devotee. So Krishna takes so much pleasure in glorifying his devotees. That is what we'll see in the entire Bhagavatam. That Krishna feels very happy to give glory to his devotees, to glorify his devotees. So Krishna wanted to glorify Muchukunda, because Muchukunda, again, he served devotees. Muchukunda fought on behalf of demigods, and demigods are devotees. So because Muchukunda did seva, service for the devotees of the Lord. So Krishna wanted to glorify him. So therefore Krishna took Kalyavan to Muchukunda. And we will read that story later, that how in fact the next chapter I think is deliverance of Muchukunda. Very beautiful prayers by Muchukunda. Where, so this is one reason, he wanted to glorify Muchukunda. And then Krishna again was running, and Jarāsandha was feeling so happy, and he was laughing. Hey, look at Krishna, he's so coward, he's running away from battlefield. And Krishna got a new name out of this pastime. What name he got? Ranchod, you see. Again, Krishna likes all these names. He feels he relishes names like Makhanchod, Ranchod. He likes those names. When you call him Jagadish, he may not be so happy, Lord of the Universe. But you call him Makhanchod, he feels more happy. You call him Ranchod, he feels more happy. So in Gujarat, I think there is temple of Ranchod. Once I had gone there, Dakurji. Ranchod Rai, they say. So that's again one reason. He wanted to be known as Ranchod. And then he went to a hill. What hill is that? Forget the name. He went to a hill. Pravarshana, some hill, and then Jarāsandha thought that, then what Jarāsandha did, he lit fire all around the hill. And he thought that Kṛṣṇa and Balarāma, they will die in this hill itself. But then Kṛṣṇa and Balarāma, what they did, they jumped from the hill and then went to Dwarika. And then the whole Dwarika pastimes will start. And then later, after many years, again we'll read towards the end of this, I think chapter 70 and around that. So again, Jarāsandha will come back into the story in Bhagavatam. Because when Krishna was there in Dwarika, so once what happened, a messenger came on behalf of the kings. So 20,000 kings were arrested by Jarāsandha. Imagine how powerful he was. 20,000 kings were arrested by Jarāsandha, and he wanted to sacrifice all of them in front of Mahabhairav. Kal Bhairav, like special form of Lord Shiva. And so the demons are normally the devotees of Lord Shiva. Prabhupada says Ravana, and we have here Jarāsandha. So imagine, he was such a cruel person. He wanted to butcher 20,000 kings in front of Mahabhairav, Kal Bhairav, special form of Lord Shiva. So the kings somehow, they sent a messenger to Dwarka, because they knew that Krishna is there, Supreme Lord in Dwarka. So they knew that the only person who can save us is Krishna. So somehow they sent a messenger to Krishna in Dwarika. And then Krishna, he heard the message. The message was very simple, that, "O Krishna, you are the ocean of mercy, you are the deliverer of the fallen souls. We are very much in distress. This Jarāsandha has arrested all of us. Please release us." So Krishna got that message. And then suddenly after that, Narad Muni also came. Narad Muni comes at the right place at the right time. So Narad Muni also came there. And Narad Muni told that, "My dear Krishna, your dear devotees, Pandavas, are planning for a Rajasu Yajna. And Rajasu Yajna can be done only when all the kings agree to surrender to you." So all the kings had surrendered to Pandavas except one king. Who was that? Jarāsandha. Again. Because he was very arrogant, and after defeating Krishna, he thought, "I am so great." So then Uddhava advised Krishna, "Wow, this is a good opportunity, that somehow you kill Jarāsandha. Then both the purpose will defeat it. The kings will be released, and also Yudhishthir Maharaj can perform Rajasuya sacrifice." And that's how the whole plan was made by Krishna in consultation with Uddhava and others in the court, in the assembly. So Krishna thought, no point of now killing soldiers. Enough of soldiers were killed. Now let's think of a way in which only Jarāsandha will be killed. So what plan was made? That Krishna, Arjuna and Bhima, only three of them would go to Jarāsandha. And interestingly, Jarāsandha, although he was a demon, but he was following the Vedas. So this is another interesting point. He was respecting Brahmanas. So it's not necessary that someone is respecting Brahmanas to be a devotee of Krishna. No. So Jarāsandha, he was so inimical to Krishna, but he was respecting Brahmanas. Right? So Krishna made the plan that Jarāsandha respects the Brahmanas. So let us go to him in the disguise of Brahmanas. So 3 of them they went. Who? Arjuna, Bhima and Krishna. And they disguised themselves in the form of Brahmanas. And when the time, Jarāsandha was very merciful, his court was open to all the Brahmanas. Any Brahmana could come and beg charity. And you should give charity to each and every Brahmana. So they came in the form of Brahmanas and they begged for charity. Jarāsandha was little doubtful. That these people are not looking like Brahmanas. Bhima and Arjuna are very strong. But anyway, they came in the form of Brahmanas. So he said, okay, what do you want? Please tell. So then they said that we don't want any charity, money or anything in charity from you. We want to ask you something. Will you give us? Arjuna said, definitely. That's my vow. Whatever Brahmana asked, I have to fulfill. They said, we want to fight with you. He said, what? And then they revealed. Then Krishna said that he is Bhima, he is Arjuna, and I am Krishna, your old friend. So Jarāsandha was taken aback and he started laughing. He said, you see, he came in the form of... But then Jarāsandha said, oh Krishna, you already ran away in the battle from... So you are not worthy to fight with me. Arjuna also, he is not that strong. He is junior to me. Yeah, Bhima, well, he is little bit of a match to me. So then Jarāsandha said, okay, I'll fight with Bhima. And it's a very interesting story. Later it will come. That for many days, I don't remember how many days, but for many days the fight was going on. Very severe fight. Because both were almost equals. So both were banging each other with their clubs. And then when the clubs were striking each other, it was creating such tumultuous sound. And as if lightning was striking, So the battle continued for many, many days. They were sometimes fighting with clubs, sometimes with fist, like wrestling. And continued for days and days. So Bhima was getting a little dejected and he was feeling a little weak. He said, for how long this battle will go on? And then finally we know that story that Krishna gave him the hint. What he did? He took a blade of grass and tore it apart and then put it like this. So because, you know the story that how Jarāsandha was born, in today's verse also his father's name was quoted somewhere. That son of Brihadratha. So it seems that Brihadratha was not having a child, and by the blessings of a sage, he finally got a child. But that child he had 2 queens, so one part came from one queen, another part from another queen. So they were bewildered. They just threw both the parts. What will you do? Half born, if the child is just half side is there, one hand, one leg, one part. But then Jara was a demoness. She somehow joined both of them. And then Jara gifted that boy to the king, and Jara wanted the boy to be named after her. That's why that child was named Jarāsandha. Sandha means to join. In Sanskrit it is Sandhi Bichet, join. So the one who was joined by Jara. So that's why he got the name Jarāsandha. And because he was joined together, that was his weak point. So Krishna said, if you just he told Bhima that if you just tear him from the middle and throw both the parts in opposite direction, then he'll be dead. And that's what Bhima did, and Jarāsandha was killed. So now why Krishna did all this? Because he wanted to glorify Bhima. Who got the credit for killing Jarāsandha? Bhimsen. So again, that's Krishna's greatness. That he always wants to give credit to his devotees. Time and again we'll see in Bhagavatam so many examples of this. That how Krishna always gives credit to his devotees. So let's see some examples. So just now we saw Jarāsandha's example. Well, Arjun is the biggest example in Mahabharata. That how Krishna made Arjuna the real hero of Mahabharata. He wanted Arjuna to be glorified as one who killed Kṛṣṇa, as the one who killed Bhishma Dev. In reality, Krishna was doing everything. In Bhagavad Gita, in the 11th chapter, when Krishna showed the universal form, already Bhishma, Drona, everybody was entering in the universal mouth of Krishna. But then Krishna said, Nimitta matra bhava sabyasachi. You just become my instrument. So Krishna wanted to glorify Arjuna. And when the battle of Mahabharata was over, and so Arjuna was in distress before Mahabharata. Then Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. He was all right. But after Mahabharata, who went into depression? Yudhishthira Maharaj. And that time Krishna spoke again Bhagavad Gita to him, but Yudhishthira was not pacified. Because Krishna wanted to glorify Bhishma Dev. So Krishna took Yudhishthira Maharaj to Bhishma Dev, who was lying on the bed of arrows. And when Bhishma Dev spoke to Yudhishthira Maharaj, then he was pacified. Again, Krishna could have pacified him, but he wanted to glorify Bhishma Dev. He wanted to show to the entire world that how great my devotee Bhishma Dev is. On the bed of arrows, he could preach such great philosophy. There is a whole section in Mahabharata, the teachings of Bhishma Dev. He taught so many things. Varnashram dharma, Stri dharma, Raja dharma, Moksha dharma. So many things he taught while lying on the bed of arrows. Again, Krishna wanted to glorify whom? Yudhishthira Maharaj. So that is Krishna's greatness. He wanted to glorify all the Pandavas. He glorified Bhimsen as the one who killed Jarāsandha. Jarāsandha was very strong. He had power of 10,000 elephants. So Krishna used Bhim to kill Jarāsandha, used Arjuna to kill the others in the battlefield of Mahabharata, and then he glorified Bhishma Dev as the one who could pacify Yudhishthira Maharaj. So the entire Mahabharata is filled with so many stories where Krishna glorified Pandavas. Then, if you look at Ramayana, again, who got the credit maximum? Who is the real hero of Ramayana? Hanumanji. Lord Ram, he knew everything. He knew where Sita is. But he used Hanuman as his instrument. He glorified Hanumanji. So Hanumanji got the credit for jumping over to Lanka, for finding out Mother Sita. So many wonderful pastimes for burning Lanka, for bringing the medicine when Lakshman was unconscious. So Lord Ram again could have revived, but then he used Hanumanji as his instrument. He wanted to glorify Hanumanji, that who brought the mountain to revive Lakshman. So in all the pastimes we see, whether it's Lord Krishna or in the pastimes of Ramayana, Lord feels very happy to glorify his devotees. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you see, that how many books Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wrote? 8 verses. No books, only 8 verses, Sikshashtakam. He could have written many books, but he wanted to glorify his devotees. Whom did he ask to write books? Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. So he told his dear devotees to write books. So he wanted to glorify Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. So that is again Lord's greatness. He wants to glorify his devotees. He feels more happy in empowering devotees and getting great services done by them rather than he himself doing it. He empowered. So Mahaprabhu himself didn't build any temples. He could have easily done. But he empowered the 6 Goswamis to come to Vrindavan, to build temples, to excavate the holy places, to write books. Mahaprabhu himself just discovered Radhakund, Shyamkund. But all the other places, who discovered? The 6 Goswamis. He gave credit to the Goswamis for establishing the temples, for writing books, for preaching. So this is, the mood of Krishna. He feels more happy in glorifying his devotees and giving credit to his devotees. And who can be a better example than Srila Prabhupada? We know this story that once some devotees, they asked Srila Prabhupada that why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't preach in the Western countries. Right? You heard this? And then Srila Prabhupada said that if they left this service for me and for you. Lord wants to give credit to his devotees. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would have easily done. He preached all over India, but he didn't go to West. Because Prabhupada said that he wanted to he gave that service to Srila Prabhupada. So Mahaprabhu wanted Srila Prabhupada to be glorified for time eternity, for the one who took the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and spread in the Western countries. So this is the mood of the Lord, that he feels more happy to glorify his devotees, to empower his devotees, to give credit to his devotees. That is the Lord's mood. So this is so inspiring, that how Lord is so merciful, like we read in today's verse, His ocean of mercy. And he, being the Supreme Lord, he feels more happy to be known as servant of his devotees. So this is what something I had to share today. If any questions or comments, you can please ask. Yes.
And also when this poison came out, he wanted to glorify Lord Shiva. He would have helped, but he wanted to glorify Lord Shiva, that he drank the poison. He was called Nilakantha.
Yes.
Like
Thank you, Mataji. Another beautiful example, when poison came out in the churning of the milk ocean, then Lord Vishnu said that go to Lord Shiva. He wanted to glorify Lord Shiva as the one who drank poison. Yes, very nice example. Yes. Yes, true.
And here also we can see the Jarāsandha also respecting and worshipping Brahmana. Both are different. The Bali Maharaj is surrendered to Lord Krishna. Here this Jarāsandha is not surrendered to Lord Krishna.
So the example is a good point, that devotees, they also respect Brahmanas, but they respect Brahmanas because they are devotees of Krishna. But demons also, like Jarāsandha, he respected Brahmanas, but with no respect for Lord Vishnu. That is not real respect for Brahmanas. Exactly. That was the point I was telling. That in Vedic culture, sometimes demons also, they worship Brahmanas. But their worship is not the real worship. So what is the point of respecting Brahmanas if you don't respect Brahman, Krishna? So they are in the category of demons only.
is they don't apply that knowledge in their lives. Application is not there.
Yes, yes.
Though they have knowledge. Hiranyakashipu was so knowledgeable. Yes. He taught so much in 7th canto.
Yes, so that is also we see. Demons, they have Vedic knowledge also. Like in 7th canto, Hiranyakashipu, he spoke so much of philosophy to his brother Hiranyaksha. Yeah. But he himself was not following, right? So that's a nice point. Okay, just one more small comment. So I was just thinking that it's because the Lord wants to give credit to his devotees, so all of us, as devotees, we can also get credit by doing some service for the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada. Because, Lord is more keen to glorify his devotees. So we all can be engaged in some service or the other. And the Lord feels very happy to engage his devotees. So with this hope that let's all be instruments in the hands of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada to spread his mission. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.